Because on the program, the polity, we discuss the polity. That's the point. We want to get to find out the things that are happening in the polity. And at a time like this, the most current thing that we can say we have seen on the polity, on the things that happen in the political sphere of Nigeria, is the Benue killing. But before we go on, may I let you know that I am Okechukwu Onobogo. And of course, on today's edition, I have a guest and who is going to be also a co-host because of the fact that he is a partner as far as this profession is concerned. And so we'll be together to talk and discuss these things that have to do with the Benue killings. What is more, that's the topic of the program anyway. And what is more, the president will be visiting Benue State tomorrow. Benue killings. The president will be visiting tomorrow. President Tinubu visit in view. Tinubu's visit in view. That will be happening tomorrow. But before that visit, we have had a lot. We've seen a lot too. Everybody has heard about the stories of killings in Benue State, and we want to talk about them today. Let me let you know who my guest and my co-host is on the program. He is Edwin Philip. Edwin, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
Good to have you here.
Very well.
And let me just say it straight away that this is your first time of being here with us.
Yeah, this is my maiden edition.
A maiden edition, definitely. And it is a continuous affair because you will continue from now on to be part of the program.
Praise the Lord. Nice.
And as I just said at the beginning, that this is a co-host. He is my co-host on the program. So sometimes you see him on this side, some other times on that other side. So one more time, welcome, Edwin.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you very much, listener.
All right. And a viewer, yes.
Viewers at this point
Yes. Now, let's talk about these Benue killings. There were more outages across the country. That was on Monday, as the Chief of Defense Staff, the CDS, that is General Christopher Musa, and the Inspector General of Police, talking about the IGP, Kayode Egbetoku, visited Benue State with a promise to further take the battle to the terrorists. So we had them visit together, talking about having the Chief of Defense Staff visit. We also had the IGP, the Inspector General of Police, visiting. The Defense Chief, while on an on-the-spot assessment of the troubled communities of the Benue State that have been under attack by gunmen, said the military would double its effort at ending the killings in the state and parts of the country. And Musa himself, that is the Chief of Defense Staff, who spoke with a newsman at Yewata community after he assessed the carnage, said the attackers possibly had informants, He said, and I quote him, "In my estimation, it is one killing too many. We are here to ensure that we address such. From here, I'm going to see my commanders. We are going to change our strategies to look inwards and see how we can address such. We cannot do it alone without the community." That's what he said. There may be issues of trust, and that we are going to address. For us, we want this to be the last that would happen. We need everybody to be part of it. We understand that even before now, we used to have even within us people that used to compromise and give out information. The CDS further promised to visit Nasarawa and Benue states based on the porous border. He said, and I quote again, "I want to assure Nigerians, the whole Benue state and all over the country, that we are determined, based on the mandate of Mr. President, that we restore peace and tranquility within the country." And that is what we had the Chief of Defense Staff say, Christopher Musa, General. Then we also had the IGP, the Inspector General of Police, say his own. And I want to say that the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, on Monday, visited the state to commiserate with the people of the state over the merciless killings of innocent people in Yelwata, Benue State. During his visit, he promised the people of the state of more deployment of men to tackle the rising insecurity in the state. And according to him, on behalf of the Nigeria Police, Nigeria Police Force, I will extend our deepest condolences to Your Excellency, your government, and the people of Benue State, and the bereaved families and all citizens that have been affected by these attacks. Continuing, he said, these mindless acts of terror are not just attacks on Benue people, but they are attacks on the sovereignty and integrity of the nation. An attack on any community in Nigeria is an attack on the entire nation. I want to assure you that the Nigeria Police Force will stand with you and the entire people of Benue State on this. We are going to work closely with you and in close synergy with other security agencies to ensure that lasting peace return to Benue State. This was what the governor, the IGP said. And it's all part of what has happened in Yelwata in Benue State. There are talks, definitely there are talks. It may interest you to know that the governor said things too. The governor, Reverend Father Dr. Hyacinth Alia, also said something. I want to take a bit of what he has said for you to hear too, in his own response. The state governor, Hyacinth Alia, described the attack as senseless one without provocation. He said, and I quote, "There was no cause for such bloodbath, but it happened. We appreciate you and the entire service for, before now, responding to us appropriately with all the support in our fight of insurgencies in the state. We are bleeding. We are in sorrow. I believe your visit is going to uplift our spirits and build within us formidable assurance of the fact that we are not alone, but that you will be there for us." The governor further said that when he came to office through hard efforts, he trimmed down the spate of attacks from 17 local governments, which were in front line of attack, to 9 local governments, and later to 6. That is what the governor said. And so we're hoping to find out what will happen or how it will happen, and as things go on. But we also heard that the president will be going there tomorrow. We saw the president while he was talking about other things happening in Abuja, the commissioning. He mentioned the fact that he will be cutting his program that was supposed to be for Kaduna State, and that he will be going to Benue on Wednesday. That was what our president said, President Bola Tinubu. And that visit is important that it is done, because yesterday on this program I had a guest, and the guest talked about it seriously, that the president should be there. And apart from that, other guests have also said it all the while. And if you have watched this station even this morning, it was still talked about in the press when we had it in the morning. So there is need for our president to visit, because we look at other countries and see the way their presidents respond to such situations and such actions. You know that there is need for our own president to also do same. Oh well, we want to talk about more of this. We want to say more about all this. Benue killings, Benue killings. Wherever you look, you see pictures that will show what has happened. And we have some of them here. We want you to look at some of those pictures as we continue to talk. There are pictures to show. Here it says that Benue bleeds. Another one says something else. One says end the Benue killings. Another one says stop Benue killings, and so on and so forth. And you've seen human beings going through pains, and as a result of these killings that have happened in Benue State. And the question we have is, when will all this end? When will all this come to an end? Let me come to Philip to ask him what he thinks. When do you think, or how do you feel in actual fact about all that has happened? And tell us what you feel really.
Very well. You know, the Benue killing is not new. It's about more than a decade in this format. In earlier times, it used to be communal clashes between the communities, farming communities, the neighboring communities. In the past, growing up, and then it became something different in the turn of the millennium. That's from the year 2000 coming downward. You see, Benue State is within the Benue Basin, around the river Benue, around the coastal part, and then it's in the north. And then there is this migration from the Sahel, talking about from the Chad Basin due to desert encroachment. And then there is the only place within the north that you have all-season grazing, farming activities, and water for cattle and herds. It's within the Benue. So it becomes a place for survival for both the pastoralists and the crop farmers. So let's start from that being environmental factor first, and then we'll go into some political and other aspects. You see, the Benue has been said, or there's this saying that the food basket, or the adage, or that is the food basket of the nation. Now the food basket is being attacked at some point, is being emptied, as it were, because it's happening about the time that farmers will go to cultivate. And if this happens, and then the farmers are being scared from farming, that means we will be going into famine, as it were. But then Benue State is surrounded by Nasarawa, Taraba, and at some point Enugu, crossing back to Kogi,
yes,
and Ebonyi State.
Yes, all these states, I think about 5 different states.
5 different states around there. But then the trouble spot is between Benue, Nasarawa, and Taraba. That's where the invaders, so to speak, come in. Like talking about the cattle rearers, or the herders, or the killer herdsmen, as it were. Now, Yelwata, where is the center of action today, is just a stone throw from Nasarawa State. Just after Kadrauko, that's which is in Kiano local government of Nasarawa State, now found Yelwata there. And it's not too far from the road. As you are driving towards the new road, Yelwata is just by there, close to the toll gate there, or the tolling point there. So you see, how this happened is what we don't really know, because according to report, they began about 11 o'clock, and the killing continued up until 3 to 4 a.m. So that means it must be targeted killings. And then no security agencies will not tell us that they didn't have whims of it, or they didn't have intel, or what we would call a security brief, or whatever. Because otherwise we would term them that they were lame duck in the case of having this intelligence. But however, it happened that the carnage, according to report too, that fuel were surrounded all the houses that were burnt. At some point, the invaders came into pour fuel around the houses, all the houses that were burnt, and then came back to set fire, and it happened almost simultaneously.
Yes, of course, that's the way they normally do their things. If you've watched all their killings everywhere, even in Jos, in most cases they pour fuel all around, and then they set ablaze at the same time, so that it will be difficult for anyone to come out from there.
Easy.
And in most cases, people are burned.
Very well. You see, and I was looking at the list of families, almost 30-something families, and amounting to about 200 lives lost. Though the governor for whatever reason, being economical or trying to play down on the figure, is saying about 60 something people died. But then the families that died knew themselves, and there was record taken. And it's not only about numbers. These are not just figures. They are human beings. Can we humanize these people and give them a memorial? Because by the time you say 60, so they will know there's no memorial for them. So we should have a memorial for them and see, okay, this is what happened. It happened out of negligence and thereabout. Now the security chiefs are now grandstanding, making these comments, as it were. I think a week or so ago, the chief of army staff said he's relocating to Benue. And because this happened around the Otokpo axis, you see, it's not safe anywhere. Within the Otokpo axis, it happened. From the Ugbokolo axis, it happened. Within the Vandikia axis, it is happening. And now the Nasarawa axis. Now it's quite, so you might interest you to know, or our viewers to know, that there are about 5 states or 3 states. Okay, let me mention them. Doma has Tiv population there. Tiv and Agatu and Igede, where they are also found in Benue State. That's the local government. We have Kiana, that is also have Tiv population. We have Awe has Tiv population, and also Obi has Tiv population. And they are all within the boundaries. They are resident there. The state was created, and they found themselves there within the divides of Nasarawa and Benue. So you see, just as it's happening in Benue, within the Tiv axis of Benue, is also happening around the Nasarawa axis up to the Otokpo axis. So, and then going towards Katinala, is also happening within that axis. I was in Katinala about a month ago. I met with the chairman along some colleagues. I think Honorable Justin. He took us to a community where he is from, because he was like, oh, he wants to do a fadama, a rice plant, rice farming around there. He went there. And, you know, the chairman there were bikes, like about close to 50 bikes given to security officers or personnel, both the vigilante, the police, the army, and the rest, to follow him to the farm. And we were all there. And we were shown graves of people who were killed. Surprisingly, at the Katsina axis, there are 2 factions of the militia. One are the headers, the other are the local militias, where they call them bandits. They are not foreigners, they are thief people who are there trying to cause mayhem. If you could recall, there's one Ghana who was killed during the autumn era. He had some boys still there whom have been there for like a couple of times, many years or decades, if not as it progresses.
Yes.
See, they've been killing, maiming people on market days. They don't allow market women to go to the market, and they tax them. Now, what happened there around the Katsina Allah axis is that they connive with the headers, sell some portion of the local lands to the headers to graze, as if they own the land, and this land belongs to the locals. Now, if the locals now want to go farm there, it was okay. Your brothers or your chiefs or your leaders have sold this land to us. They now belong to us. And now, if they bought this land from the local bandits, the boys and the guys there, so that means they bought the land. It belongs to them, so they can cause any mayhem there to whoever in truth, because they've paid for the land, including their crops. And when we were there, you see, the cattle were feeding on already crops that were budding, were growing.
Okay, we will still continue with this discussion the way you're bringing it, because it's important that we get to know about these things. Thank you for bringing in this aspect of this thing, a kind of historical affairs, the way it has gone on for a while, and how geographically it's also moving. Thanks a lot, Phillips. Yes. We will still continue to do this, but we'll just take a break right now. We'll return, but before we even go on the break, I want to let you know also that maybe before the end of the program, we may be also having someone from Benue who is also part of us to talk, and let's hear the feelings that they have. I'm talking about Richard Oriri himself, but then as we're going on, let's just take this break. We'll return. We'll continue with this talk. Thanks a lot. We'll stay here. Thank you, Dabilaya. We are here and we still have a lot to share on the program. It's Benue killings as we have as a topic for today, and President Tinubu's visit in view. Now, let's look at that side of it. The president will want to visit the place tomorrow. Yes. As I mentioned earlier, he has decided to reschedule his program and to get to Benue. This visit, what do you think it will be for?
Yeah, the visits, just like every other visit that is done by the president in Nigeria and elsewhere, this is a national emergency. You know, we don't need to have 200 people killed for the president to visit. Even
one person's life is very precious important. And very important, that we don't need to think and wait for the fact that they're telling us 60 or 200 or whatever. You know, one life is precious. You know, in advanced clients, you don't even talk about such things. One life means a whole lot.
Very well. You know, during Biden's era, there was school shooting where I think few pupils were killed. And Biden was in a foreign land. He cut short that visit to visit that school, a primary school in a small neighborhood, a county. Now we are having a state that has been under attack for several months since the president arrived or become the president. And then there have been the issue of politicization of that carnage, be it in Otopo axis, be it in Kasinala, be it around the Guma axis, which is just by close to the River Benue. So you see, the governor is on happy matters, because I remember when it happened in Nasarawa State. The governor of Nasarawa State, Governor Engineer Abdullah Isule, quickly moved to Aso Rock, informed the president that this is what is happening. You know, the governor was busy apportioning blame to politicians, that the killings, that the insecurity is caused by politicians who are not in the same tent with him. Some, and he termed them Abuja politicians that are not in the same ranks with him. And after some time, he now said they are religious, is a religious war. At some point, he now said they are foreigners. Now he's trying to abdicate responsibility. Now, if he had briefed the president, as it were, the president would have been aware. He wouldn't take a very dark man to do a video and then send it, make it viral, that even the Pope in Rome would talk about it. He wouldn't have taken the social media to be set the pace for the president to arrive or come. These are some of the issues we keep saying, that until the president is on ground, this will still happen and every time. So now, and what I would not like to see tomorrow is the flag or insignia of the party, because some persons who go there and start flying the broom and flying the flag of APC
and thinking it's a political rally, when it's supposed to be a visit, of in bitterness, in sorrow.
Yeah, so a solemn assembly.
Yes, so a solemn assembly, a visit to commiserate with the people that have had this problem.
You know, and you see, the governor was saying that it was 17 local government that were there.
Yeah, and later moved from this and that. We don't even need to know about this, because it's not our business. Well, the important thing is, how can you, as a governor, ensure that there is peace everywhere? Everywhere. As far as your state is concerned.
In the president's speech, the president said something, that the governor should express to act statemanly.
Yes.
That means that is the direct accusation of the governor for not being in charge. That issue set the warring parties. Though I have issues with that warring parties, because who were at war? Is it the people that were sleeping in their house that were at war? They were killed in cold blood. That the people, the invaders, murdered sleep, were they at war? Is it the political war that the government is trying to advance? That there are people who don't want him to win a second term, and that's why they are causing this mayhem against their people. So these are issues that the president should address. And then what the Benue people want to know is that the killers or the perpetrators should be brought to book.
Yes.
Until that speech, that aspect is addressed, the healing will not come for the people of Yewata and Benue State.
Yes, and there should not be any need talking about political differences right now.
Yes.
This is not what matters.
Very well.
I'll see you soon. Talk about the thing the Secretary to the Government of the Federation said concerning the Yewata victims. But before I talk about what the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, that's SGF, said, I also want to, that is Mr. Judge Akume, yes. I want to let you know that you can make your calls right now. You can call into the program because our phone lines are there for you. Please, they will be placed for you to see, even as they've been placed right now for you to see. And we have the active line that is 080-299-38365. 080-299-28365. These are active line with which you can call and make your contribution to the program, because as always, we say that this station, Kaftan Television, prides over the fact that we are the people's station, because we do whatever we do. In our programs, we try to reach out to the people and get to know the feelings of the people and the thinking or thoughts of the people. And this is not one that is left out of it. We still want you to make your calls, share with us what you feel, what you think, and suggestions. Make your suggestions as to the better way forward. That's talking about on phone, of course. 080-299-38365. And we'll be able to pick your calls, and someone is already here. So let me just pick his call and get to know who it is before we continue. Hello, viewer. Hello, what's your name and where you're calling from? Please, caller.
Good afternoon. My name is Elagbaje Emmanuel. I'm calling from Benue.
Oh, good. Elagbaje Emmanuel.
Yes.
You're calling from Benue State. Which part of Benue are you calling from?
Makodi.
Makodi, okay. Wherever it's still Benue State.
I'm from West local government, but I live in Makodi town.
Okay, okay. Okay. And you have heard what has happened, and you're feeling it in your state. Tell us more.
Yes. Honestly, it's very painful. Like in my area, in West too, the killing continues. The issue is that, sincerely speaking, the governor and our leaders are not helping matters. Even within the state, good boys are not even allowed us to rest. Not to talk of the headers. So, whenever he spoke about the National Assembly that are causing all this thing, I feel pain when the governor speaks so.
Yes.
Look at the light, it's closed every day and night.
Go ahead.
Sir, my village is by the Rivera area.
Okay.
We share boundary with Nasarawa State.
Okay. What did you say is the name of the village again?
Go West.
And
Go West. Go West. Okay.
These elders, they have one route, one way in, one way out in Go West area.
Okay.
I was opportune in 2017 as a supervisory councillor. Then, during autumn time, I know what happened at that time. Sometimes, when you give a report of what is happening, our leader will not take it seriously.
Go ahead.
I was once a supervisor, I witnessed what happened.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Don't listen to your TV set. Go on talking.
I gave the detailed report of what happened. And they could not take it serious. Then my chairman was Honorable Francis Ayaka.
Okay.
They had a meeting with Fulani elders in the town hall meeting in West local government. We think that would be an end to that, but immediately after the meeting, the killing continued in my own council ward. Sir, if this will end, government has that power to end it today. Whatever that can last more than 1 hour. Government has had in it. They know what is happening to us in Benue State.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All the missionaries that will end this. So, sir,
yes.
The pain we are going through in Benue is too much. Benue is bleeding, and no one is talking about it. And when you open your mouth to say a word, they come after you.
Okay, no problem. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Well, you say at least somebody cares from this place.
Yes.
That's why we're talking about it.
Very well.
Thank you for all that you said. We will still talk more. We'll still talk more, and I want to thank you, Elabaje Emmanuel from Go West. Thank you so much. We will still continue with others. Thank you. And what we want to do is we want to take a quick break, and we will return. Of course, you heard me say that it's most likely we will be having Richard Oriri here, Dr. Richard Oriri, of course, and he is here. So let's take a break and get him in, so we'll continue our discussion. This program this day is that it's his home state they are talking about, we are talking about, and it's good for him to make his own input on a serious note, because of course we do know that the things he says rather matter a lot too. Even as the president will be visiting your state tomorrow, we want to have you say certain things so that it will be part of what the things that the president will be told, because I know some people are watching. Good to have you here, Richard Oriri.
It's my pleasure.
Dr. Richard Oriri.
It's my pleasure.
Welcome. Okay, we've been talking about, the topic for today is Benue killings and President Tinubu's visit in view. Let's have your take before we start taking further calls from our listeners and viewers.
Thank you for inviting me, and good afternoon, Nigerians. The issue before us in Benue is a national issue, national security emergency matter, and as a Benue indigene, we are bleeding and we are crying. Thank God the president has deemed it fit to visit the scene of crime. We have been crying for so long, calling on leadership to come to our aid. But the major challenge facing Benue is a leadership problem at the grassroots level and not center. Because the center has done so much in assisting the state, not just Benue, across Nigeria, the 36 states of the Federation, including FCT.
Yes.
Since the removal of this fuel subsidy, they are receiving so much from the Federation allocation. Putting it to use at the local level in order to reduce this insecurity problem and other developmental issues facing the rural community is where we are having challenge.
Okay.
In the case of Benue, the security problem in Benue state today is a multidimensional matter. You know very well that in Benue state, the governor and almost all the political actors in the state, they are not in talking terms. And there's no how a chief executive officer in the first instance can succeed in governance when you are at war with almost every stakeholder within the environment where you are leading as a governor. And for the fact that there is a division in the state within their own party, all of them belong to the APC.
Okay.
There's a division, and security requires information. And if there is information within at the disposal of the other factional group, it will be very difficult for any of them to share in the information with the government, even with the local government chairman. The local government chairman, they are of the governor's fashion.
Okay.
Benue is fashionalized in APC. And the 3 senators in Benue State, one is of PDP. Senator Abamoro is representing Benue South Senatorial District, is of PDP, and the minority leader of the Senate today.
Okay.
Then the other 2 senators from APC. These 3 senators, none is in talking terms with the governor. out of the 11 House of Representative members representing Benue today at the center here, none, about 9 or 10, are not in talking terms with the governor. And the 23 local government area have DSS officers who generate intel from the local communities and report to the state command of DSS, and they later forward, which they normally forward to the federal here.
Okay, so
and the 20 local government area to have DPOs. With the collaboration of all of these people, the security agencies in the state, the governor, who is already who already have enough of this security vote, more than 3 billion naira monthly, to putting these people together with traditional rulers to ensure that he has intel across the state. You know, as a leader, what you do first is to study the environment where you are leading. And as a chief security officer, he will be briefed of security situations from across the state on daily basis. And once you gather this intel, all the threat areas, you know how to tackle them before it occurs. But in the case of Benue, the governor completely has ignored this aspect of security tips. And on the other side of it, you see, he always complicates issues before giving false information to Nigerians and the external bodies world. He will come today and say security situation in Benue is caused by National Assembly members. Tomorrow he will come and say it's caused by foreign militias. Another day he will come again and accuse Benue people of killing themselves. How can you wake up as a Benue person and you start carrying guns? Yes, we have touts, we have some hoodlums within no environment, no society that you can say doesn't have bad elements, hoodlums among them. Yet we have them, but they are not as much as that every day on daily basis this number of persons will be killed in Benue, and the governor will come to say they are inside they are the ones who killing themselves. He will come with he normally use, there's a language he normally use, skirmishes. There is a kind of husband and wife fighting, and which is not good. When you are giving proper information, even the security operatives in the state giving proper information to the president on what is going on in the state. Anytime he come online, like today, this morning he came online on the AIT, and he was saying some things, praising himself, how over 17 local government that were under the control of the militias, they have now been reduced to 6 local government. How can 6 local government in the entire 9 local government in Zozi alone, more than 6 local government area are under siege, like Agatu, they are under siege, Apa under siege, Otupo under siege, Ado inclusive, even Okpaku inclusive. Going to Ohimini area, Ohimini and Apa, they are always almost I can see they are one. Almost all of this area. When he mentioned the local government under siege this morning, I was surprised for him not to even mention Otupo. He only mentioned Apa and Agatu. Which is not right. In Benue State, in the local government, in 2022, over 137 persons were killed in Ndobashi, in the local government. And up to today, there's still killings going on in Benue State, in the local government, but all those ones are not important to the governor for others to be mentioned among the flashpoint areas in Benue. So the governor is misinterpreting what is happening in Benue, and that will not give the president enough better information. And that shows clearly again that both the governor and the president, they are not working in synergy. And if president and the governor are not working in synergy, there's no how he will get it right security wise. Not at all. Because now as it is, if the governor is getting security information from all the 22 local government areas in Benue State, the president ought to be equally gathering information, security information from the 36 state governors, minus what is gathering from the security agencies. You should equally be briefed of security situations in every state, especially in Benue State, that is the flashpoint now. Yes. Benue Plateau, another non-central state. So, but the issue here is the governor is misinterpreting everything, and every day things are going out of hand. Like what happened in Yelewata the other day. the president, from the presidency's information, it shows clearly that what happened was from the information within his disposal shows clearly that what the president was briefed of was that it was a reprisal attack. And that reprisal attack, from his analysis of it, it shows there was a time that the ATLR group gave a warning or call on the governor to come for negotiation. That some of their cows, over 1,000 or how many number of cows, were taken away by Benue people. And that he has to come for negotiation on how he can at least pay them back. From that time this call was made, the governor gave it a deaf ear. He did not even care whether what they are saying was true or not. In governance, you cannot. There's no how you will separate yourself away from negotiation. And in democracy, negotiation and dialogue is a continuous process. And if you really want peace within your environment, you must not shy away from dialogue. They came out to say this. He never said anything. He did not even utter a word to counter what they have said, or to say, okay, this is what I'll do, or to take a move at least to meet with them. Because we are all Nigerians. And most of these militias coming to the state to attack, they are not living in Benue State. Now that the president is going to Benue tomorrow now, there is nothing the president is going to meet. And most of the people that the governor will gather tomorrow to talk, to address the president, they will select people that will talk to the president in the interest of the government, not in the interest of Benue people. They will.
These are two different
yes, they will definitely
people and the government. Yes,
select people that will talk to the president, that will not give president the true picture of what is happening in Benue. They will already, by now, I have sat before as a secretary to a local government, and I know how they behave. Once a external body is coming, they will select key persons that will say things that will benefit the government. That is selfishness, not real information of what is happening on ground. Now give the president better ground to see if he goes back to his office, he will not know how to tackle it with the security chiefs in Abuja here. But they will fill it with wrong information. That is why the visit of the president to Benue tomorrow is, yes, it will bring down the psychological trauma of Benue people already, the psychological trauma the Benue people are facing already. But the real information that he ought to gather from Benue will not be the way it will be. Now, the IG of police.
Please, I want to plead with you to hold on. Let's take this call. And please let us know where you're calling from and your name.
I'm calling you from Benue, from Benue State.
Okay, what's the name?
Yeah, my name is Imeji.
Imeji
Johnson.
Okay.
Imeji Johnson.
Okay, thank you.
Well, thank you for the program. And I express my condolences to the people of Benue and Nigeria in general. You see, the coming of the president is good. It's welcome. But it is as if the saying, when the snake has already passed, then you are coming with a whip to kill the snake. The snake has passed. You see, the killing of Benue, the killing in Benue has been incessant over the years. Even it predates this current administration.
Yes.
But as it came, the killing continues. There hasn't been any significant effort by the federal government. Well, you see, the governor is the chief executive of the state and the chief security. But to put blame on him is very, very ridiculous, in the sense that Yelwata attack that has given rise to the visit of the president, you know, from what we hear, those of us that are resident in Makode, there were rumors that there was going to be an attack. So the government has a lot of arsenal. The government doesn't have gun. The government doesn't have police. Doesn't have army. So what has been the responsibility of all these people, TSS and so on? Can them. Okay, then the killing has been incident in the state. What is the security apparatus that the federal government has deployed? You know, we are making comparison to civilized world. Look at South Korea, for example. This kind of a thing cannot happen. You know, if you attack one local government, there will be a satellite on the entire state, and the repeat of it cannot happen. Okay, there was an attack. No single soul has been arrested. and then they are pointing a putting finger to an organization or an association that has been doing this thing almost every time. So where are we? Where are we? So the blame shouldn't come to our governor at all. Our governor is doing so much. You know, there are a lot of divisions in the party, and now some people stand to say the governor didn't do this, the governor didn't do that, and so on. But the president is welcoming it. But you should do more. You should do more, not to wait until when many people have been killed before you come. That is not reasonable to me.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Imeji Johnson from Makurdi. Thank you for your own take. That's your
let me react to what you said.
Just before then, I want to say something. You still have to react.
Okay.
Imeji, you can let it be now. He will react to what you said because it's from your state. And but before all that, I want to say that there is what the Secretary to the Government of the Federation said. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. George Akume, has commiserated with the victims of the state. In a statement, he said, the continued bloodletting and mindless killings across Benue State are both disheartening and utterly condemnable. This latest reprehensible act, one among too many, is not merely a tragedy for Benue, it is a deep wound to the soul of our nation. He called on all sons and daughters of Benue, including you, Imeji, and Elabaje, and the one that is here with me too. He called on all of you, and he said, our leaders, traditional institutions, and key stakeholders to come together now. And he said, urgently, he stressed it, urgently, to forge a path towards lasting peace and security, and rise above division and act decisively to protect our people and preserve our culture. Okay, let's get your reaction.
My reaction to him is that I refuse to align myself with what he said, that we should not push blame to the governor. We will push blame to the governor. Before now, Anambra State was a terrible state in terms of insecurity.
Yes.
Before now, Abia State was on the same lane. All this, the Anambra State governor and Governor Oti, His Excellency Oti, they are all newcomers like Benue State governor.
Yes.
Today now, Anambra is a place where foreign investors are now coming in to invest. Abia State is a state where foreign investors are coming now to invest.
Yes.
Who did it? It was not the president.
No, it wasn't.
It was the governors. Like Benue State has military formation more than Anambra. Benue State has military formation more than Abia. The governor can work with this Air Force base. It's in Makurdi. It's in Benue State. Okay, no state of the federation that doesn't have police commissioner, that has other police officers attached to the command. No state in Nigeria that doesn't have DSS command in the state. These people are people that the governor can come together and work with, like other governors in other states are doing, with the security vote going to them. How much is the governor doing with these security agencies within the state? With the fund more than 3 billion naira on monthly basis, but you cannot do like when I was secretary. 2 million naira was security votes to the chairman, and out of this 2 million naira, police DPO of the local government have normally the chairman gave him 50,000 naira from 2 million. DSS 30,000. This other police formation, civil defense is there. Even Nigerian Legion, Nigerian Legion was 100,000 naira. Out of that 100,000, you will have to reach out to all the vigilantes across the world for battery and for bomb, for torch and others. How can 50,000 naira assist DPO in a local government for fuel, for this and for that, more monthly basis? Now this 3 billion naira coming to the governor is enough for him to synergize with the security operatives.
Please, sir, let's take it. Yes, hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Good afternoon, please.
Good afternoon. Where you are calling from and your name?
Adole, I'm calling from Otukpo, Benue State.
Adole?
Yes, I'm calling from Otukpo, Benue State.
Okay.
I just have a brief word. Firstly, the gentleman there at the middle, the red cap. I sincerely thank you so much for all your words. And the last caller that called from Makodi, it seems he did not clearly understand what the gentleman said. He's not blame all the fault of the governor. He brought out his points. And to advise that last caller, in this type of situation, we shouldn't base on political aspects. Even if you're a member of APC and the governor is from APC, it's the governor of the state, whether you're from Labour Party or from PDP. It is what the governor should do, and he has not done. That is what the gentleman is saying on the studio there. The gentleman there is not totally against the governor. Please, that's just my view.
Thank you so much.
We are not happy with the situation. Nobody's happy with the situation.
Yes.
Please, thank you so much.
Thank you. Adole. Thank you so much.
I want to chip in.
Please, let's hear from you, sir.
You know, it's becoming so political oriented in nature with the killings. You know, the issue is that life matters now. That Nigerian life matters. The life of the Benue people matters. No matter our political frontier, as it were. And then I keep saying, governors who are running to the ruling party, hoping that being at the center makes them have other security and then have direct access to the president. Benue State is of the APC, the same party with the center. Abia, as my brother mentioned, is Labour. Anambra is Abga. But these guys are doing pretty well. It's not about politics. It's about synergizing. In all of these states, the other day, the audio Carlos Senator, who is from APC, visited OT of the Labour Party, Excellency, and they embraced, spoke glowingly and in peace in the interest of Abia people.
Abians, yes.
The Abians, or Abians as it were.
Yes.
Now, you see, in Benue State, the governor currently is shrinking the political space. How can you be a governor and you think it's all about people telling you yes, father? It's not about, you are not a priest at this point in time. You might be a priest from as your profession.
Yes.
It's about working in synergy even with your enemy to achieve a common goal. Even God, as it were, in holy books, have some interaction and dialogue, even with the devil.
Yes.
Just for the interest of his servant, as it was recorded in Job. So if we think that, or the government think that he has become the new sheriff in town, that every other person should go.
Please bear with me. These are people who are part of this program.
Yeah, very well.
Do Good has a call here. Do Good is calling from Port Harcourt. Yes, let's hear you, Do Good.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Do Good here, calling from Port Harcourt.
Yes.
Yes, it's too much occurrence now. It's not becoming everyday occurrence now. This state, Benue, I don't know what they cause or what they do in this country. And I want to say it, Benueans, they should go and arrange weapons and defend themselves, for God's sake. What is going on? They should acquire weapons and defend themselves. If somebody should carry the weapon, come inside your house, kill you, and federal government not to do anything, acquire own and defend yourself, for God's sake. Are you fools or dogs or ghosts? What acquire weapon? Good weapon and defend yourself in your house. I'm tired of this Benue issue. My heart is bleeding. I'm too tired.
Thank you so much, Do Good, from Port Harcourt.
Yeah, I think.
Thank you for what you said. Before you say anything, let's also let you know that the past Senate President that is from Benue State, David Mark, has also said it. It's like it's time for us to equip ourselves and fight by ourselves if nothing is happening from the government sector. I remember that was what Danjuma, Theophilus Danjuma, former minister too, said concerning the people in his own state, Taraba. So we need to look at these things, and there is need, now that Do-Good is saying it, to think about that. Because when people that are coming to attack you know that you're equipped, they will think again before coming.
You know, this narrative has been pushed across board, and all the time, the victims are always the residents. These visitors or these marauding invaders,
yes,
are not are mobile.
They are mobile.
They are not resident there. By the time the security agencies who will be doing their job come to your house, search, and then find out you have a catapult, as small as a catapult,
they will take it away from you.
You will be arrested with the Firearms Act available in our constitution, in our laws. So now the same people who are protesting, who were protesting yesterday, they were arrested. They were tear gas. Some were shot. Now, as harmless as protest,
as they were, yes,
protest is enshrined in our constitution. As harmless as protesters were yesterday, on that day, they were shot. They were arrested. And you see, now that's only protest, just with leaves and placards. So how?
Sorry. Let Jibril from Gwagwalada say something. Jibril from Gwagwalada, you're welcome.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Jibril.
Yes, I'm interested in this Benue killing.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. What I want to say is just only 2 words.
Okay.
The present governor is not a politician. They gave it to him. The president said that they should not apportion blame to him that he can do it. And the same thing, the man agreed that he can do it. When you don't know what is intake of something, don't force to come into. That is why you see, even the president that is not visiting, I don't blame him, because the president said that nobody should blame him, he can do it. Now that is the claiming that is taking place in Benue. The same thing to the current governor. If you know you cannot do anything, don't take it. Is he a politician? Let him go back to the priesthood. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Jibril. Thank you. Thank you. Well, let's continue.
Yeah, you see, the issue is beyond the rhetorics of this. Let's have our arms. You know, these are farmers. They are that's their house. Now, I was in Kasinala. These people say that they cannot leave that place. That's where they were born. That's their ancestral home. So they prefer paying taxes to the bandits to stay and farm to feed us, than leave those places for them to for the headers or for the invaders.
With the hope that tomorrow will be better.
Better. That's the country we are. We are paying tax to non-state actors. And if we say we should all have arms, the law don't permit that. Law does not permit that we should have arms. So we are getting ourselves into trouble. As I said, the protesters were maimed, arrested, shot, as from the pictures and the feelers we are having there. So I think if we have a country and there are laws, we should not become lawless and anarchy rules.
Okay, we'll take a call, and then after that we'll conclude. We'll return to Richard. Then we'll still continue. Just hold your thoughts for now. After you, then we'll return to Richard. Yes, please. Where are you calling from, and tell us your name?
Hello,
good afternoon.
My name is Savio. I'm calling from Yalagoja in Cross River State.
Okay, Savio, go ahead, sir.
Well, I don't want to make a little contribution towards this Benue killing. Now, if you are waiting for the government to do anything in Benue State, I think the government has failed already. The place where the number of persons killed in 5 hours is more than what is happening in Israel and Iran, then we should know that the government cannot do anything about it. We need, if the Benue people really want a life for themselves, they have to come out and take their life by their hand. If you wait on the government, the president is not even aware that something is wrong in Benue State. But he is aware of what is happening in Iran, what is happening in Benue State, where he is the president too. And then if you wait for the father, before now we thought Christians will help the Nigerian politics. But from this APC government, we are understanding that whoever is called a pastor or a minister or whatsoever is not there representing God. He's representing what the party wants. There are no clergymen in Nigerian politics today.
or the Nigerian government today. The only people we have there today, they are politicians. So if we are depending on father, we will end up having a desert in Benue State.
Thank you.
The Benue indigenous will wake up and take their lives by themselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Xavier from Yala, Cross River State. Thanks for your contribution. Okay, let's round off. Let me come to Richard, please.
In as much as we say that we should not acquire firearms in lieu of the implication of having such within your possession. Yes, the people can protect themselves by forming vigilante associations. Now, the young men, because from somebody from Benue State, that there are issues of cultism in Benue State, unrest with the servants from the boys and thereabout. If these boys who are into some of these groups to form themselves into unions, into groups, and protect their territory instead of fighting each other, would have been better. You see, by the time you wake up, that the youth who are supposed to protect the people of Benue State or their citizens are the one giving lands or grazing land for these invaders to graze. Because I'm saying that with what I heard I saw in Kasinala, where some youths who are into some of these activities now become lost in their community and apportion land
and terror to their people,
to their people, and apportion land for herders to graze. That may not be different. I'm using Kasinala as a case study. It might not be different from Grey West. Because the governor, the chairman of Grey West, in national TV or on social media on a platform was crying that he's tired. If given an opportunity, that man will resign. So it's the same thing with other local government chairmen. Okay, let's just take it straight away. Let's go to Dr. Oriri. Let's hear you.
Okay, truly and sincerely, I want to align myself with some of the points he has raised.
Okay.
The issue of courtesan taking over Benue communities. Yes, all of us in Benue, we are aware, not just in Benue, the whole Nigeria.
Yes.
Almost all the confraternity now, they have presidents like President Tinubu is now. They have governors in all the 36 states of the federation. And they have local government chairman, they have even zonal head. So they are in charge. And some of these boys are the ones that even some leaders use as political tools.
Yes.
But the question I want to ask now is, the governor of it's not up to 6 months or so, he launched one vigilante of a community volunteer group, which he gave them guns and motorcycles. He spent over 15 billion naira just to set that up.
Okay.
What is the effect of that community volunteer guard that he set up? What is the effect from what has happened now? These people are in all the communities. If they are not meant for political vendetta, and if they are meant for political vendetta, from that angle too, we will be having some of these security problems. Because already Benue is divided. Everyone knows about it, between the governor's camp and the SGF camp, and they are all in APC, and the governor is not relating, synergizing with these political actors who are elected officials. There is no one, like as I am in Abuja here now in my community. They used to brief me of what is happening in my community on daily basis. Like today, they have briefed me. I know what has happened from morning to this afternoon in my place. The same thing with these elected officials, who are leaders and representatives of the people at the grassroots.
Yes.
And all of them, none of them that doesn't have coordinators in all the political wars that give their information on happenings on daily basis. But they don't have the opportunity to share these information from their local communities with the governor. The governor is out to lead Benue as a sole administrator.
Yes.
And that is one of the major problems that we are having in this problem that is before us as a people in Benue State. And he's not always straight in what he says. Today, if you appear on television channel today, if you go to AIT tomorrow, what he says yesterday will be different from what he said today. And what he said today will be different from what he will say tomorrow. Meaning he doesn't even have grip of the state. He doesn't have. That is why most Benue people are saying that if he's not willing to lead as a leader, he should just resign and go. from the happening sincerely, from the happening in Benue State, the governor is not in charge. I can thank the DSS officials in Nigeria. They are doing very well, very well. From every local government, they have security information from every local government, which they share possibly. If the governor is calling them together, they can share such information with even the police, who are in charge of internal security operation. The Nigerian armies, like in my local government, we have military base in Ado, in my local government, in Okwaku, between Okwaku and Ogbadibo, they equally have military base. If the local government chairman on that side, if they are giving free hand, this local government autonomy in Benue State, as a reverend father, he has not allowed any local government chairman to have access to the local government fund. Like in April, the total money that went to local government, the 20 local government in Benue, if you put it together, is over 10 billion naira. And the governor is not allowing this local government chairman to operate as executive officers in their local government.
Yes, as it's supposed to be.
Yes, if they are allowed, like he not done April, over 400 million naira, and nothing up to 10 million will go to the local government. Highest, he called the local government chairman together in form of a joint account meeting, and they will sign money for him. Then you give them maybe 5 million, and they go. The local government, if local government chairmen are in charge of the local communities, like in Okpoko, Ogbadibo, even in Otupo, they have military formation there. That the chairman of Otupo can be working with the military and local intelligence from the traditional rulers and youth leaders within the wards. And you will have better understanding of the security situation of the local government. The governor is acting alone, and he doesn't even know the terrain of this of Benue. Like today, he made mention of some states that have boundary with Benue State. He did not even mention Ebonyi State that have boundary with other local government. But, you understand? You understand? That shows clearly that the governor doesn't even know the number of states that have boundary with him. He does not even know the map of Benue State and which state is having sharing boundary with the state. So it's a serious problem. What we are facing in Benue, sincerely, is 70% leadership problem. As a leader, you just have to downplay politics. But the governor is playing politics over 90% above governance. You have to downplay politics and face governance. There is no facing governance. Everyday politics is causing a lot of problem for us. It's causing a lot of problem. And generally in Nigeria again, we have to say this. Now, the security officers, most of them posted to different states. They are not from the state. But the governor is from the state. No governor in every state that is not from that state. No local government chairman of any local government in the 774 local government in Nigeria that is not of that community. The problem is the people working with you, these security operatives that are working with you, you have to motivate them with the resources available to you. Motivate them. And any security officer that is doing a lot for Nigeria and for any state or for any local government should be encouraged. Like what has happened to Abakari. I was in discussion, I went into discussion with some police officers yesterday. And the information, he said the police they are withdrawing back. Sincerely, they are withdrawing back. Like, look at what has happened to Abakari. Before now, if there is any kidnapping anywhere in Nigeria, within 24 hours, Abakari must have arrested that person. The people involved in the kidnapping or killing or assassination of any person in Nigeria, Abakari will bring the person and will arrest no matter how highly placed you are. They say Abakari went to Taraba. Operation concerning Wadume. Some of his men were killed, brutally killed in Taraba. I know of one that was brought to Abuja here. At the back here, bullet everywhere. He was treated at Nisa Premier in Jabi here. He is alive today. Today, the same Abakari that placed in point, put all his chest out to serve the country. He's in prison. So why will other military or police officers who have such intelligence, who have such brains, such sense to serve the country will come out again? When you are doing this, there are people who are benefiting from this security problem. And they will come after you and place you where you belong to enable them continue.
Not really where you belong, where they want you to be.
Where they want you to go, they will take you there. Abakari's suffering is in fact is giving every one of us concerned in Nigeria. I got to know about kidnapping through Abakari where he arrested Evans in Lagos.
Okay.
That was, if not, I don't even know before that anything kidnapping, and most Nigerians doesn't know about kidnapping. Evans was operating, doing kidnapping business in the West silently and making so much money. Until he was exposed by Abakari.
In most cases,
you understand? And for the fact that, for the fact that Abakari, since his arrest, there has not been any punishment. There has not been any punishment against Abakari, against Evans. And that is why you see other younger Nigerians, since there's no job now, going into the business. From Evans to Wadume have been released. Nobody knows whether he's even a House of Assembly member now in Taraba or he has become a political appointee.
You have to contest.
You understand? You understand?
He was already a graduate now in Open University.
You get it. Staying there.
Yeah. In such a situation, how can we stop insecurity in Nigeria when there is no deterrent? You understand? It's a big problem. In Benue case, the governor have to embrace everybody. Don't look down on anybody. Nobody that is not important. Everyone that belongs to Benue State, they are stakeholders. Don't sideline any. Democracy doesn't allow anything segregation. Yes. You don't oppress people through exclusion. And if you are not part of it, some people say it's very easy to destroy than to build.
Yes. Some time ago, Peter Obi came to Benue State to commiserate with people that were in trouble, but your governor asked him to go.
Politics. Now, it was like he can't guarantee the safety of people. Now, if you can't guarantee the safety of somebody like Peter Obi, then you can also guarantee the safety of Benue people.
Yes.
That's by implication.
If you cannot do this, then just as you have said, is it not the best thing? Wouldn't it be for the person to say,
simply resign?
I can't do this.
Yes, because now every bit of what's happening in Benue State has been politicized. I was in Benue State during Akume's 71st birthday. I mean, where the governor did not send anybody. And he don't go. And then we tried to interview Akume said no.
You see, because he wanted to make sure that peace remains.
You know,
okay,
said, don't the government's not available. Don't say this on that and that. No, these are issues that the government.
Yes, please. Sorry, let me take this last call from Comrade Daniel Akoko.
Hello.
Yes.
Good afternoon, my brothers.
Good afternoon, comrade. Please go on.
Honorable Richard. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
This is Comrade Ijale Olufemi from Obakoko, Ondo State.
Okay, from Ondo State, Ijale Olufemi.
The visit of the president tomorrow should not be based on the breaking laws. It should try to solve problems. The issue at hand is more than just ordinary breaking. It should help the people of Benue State, because this is a very great problem. When people are facing each other and they are killing each other, it's a very great problem. Then the governor himself should know that he is the head of that state. He should allow people. He should mingle himself with the people. He should not be annoyed that the people under him. He should try to see that there is a game of rapport between him and others. So it is there. He should allow people. He should take them and. What I want to say is that he should try to know that people under him he must try to. People are very bad. Although if you know that these people, you are fighting them, they are not fighting you. Even they are fighting you as the head. Take everything.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jale Olufemi from Ondo. Thank you for calling. And that's how we'll conclude what has to do with calls today on the program. We want to thank everyone. We want to thank Lebaje Emmanuel from Gwa West, Imeji Johnson from Makodi, Adole from Otupo, Dugu from Port Harcourt, Jibu from Gogolada, Xavier from Yala in Cross River State, and this comrade Jala Olufemi from Ondo State. Thank you so much for calling. And it's also at this point that we also start wrapping up what we have for you today on the program. I want to thank our colleague that is the latest addition to the park in the house, talking about Philip Edwin.
Yes.
Edwin Philip.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed your stay.
Very well. I think this is where to be.
Okay.
For our viewers and listeners, just keep being here, and then we have the best for you.
Okay. He is a co-host on the program. And then we also have one of us again. He is a broadcast journalist. And this one is also, apart from being a public affairs analyst, he is a journalist. And Dr. Richard Oriri, pleasure having you on the program.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you so much for taking pains to come because of the way we brought you in, and you still accepted to be here.
I have signed to serve Nigeria.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And let me say thanks to you for being there. Please keep coming on because it's important. Because without you, we won't be doing anything here. It's because you're listening and watching that we're still going on the program. Thank you to Divine Dabrilaya. Thank you to Timothy Obonna. Thank you to Emmanuel Samuel, as well as Habib Okunola, and Ephraim. I want to thank you, Omonna, and a lot of other fellows that helped one way or the other. I may not remember all the names now. I wouldn't forget to say also a special thanks to Esther Abraham. And thank you to Ruben Okala, the head of station of this place. I am Okechukwu Bobo. May the best happen to us all the time.